What is going on, Buff's brain? So, we out here the day after the Redwoods Archers' first postseason game ever. And I have to say, I came in and it was 5-5. Um, and just, so I was able to go back and it started with like those two guys who you kind of thought were going to show up. Jules Henningberg, who a lot of people didn't even think was going to play this week, to Tom Schreiber and him just having like what could be an MVP season and their teams going at it. So before I even get into saying much about the game, it was, I think, the key to this game was goaltending. More looking back on it now than predicting beforehand, the key to this game was really goaltending because Brent Adams is typically just a fucking stud, and they're both defensive teams. Um, I think the Redwoods gave up like the least goals, and the Atlas gave up like the second least, or something like, or it's the Archers gave up the second least, or whatever it was. These are both defensively minded teams with defensive minded coaches and a lot of great players on their defensive halves, with a couple of superstars on each side. Um, with Jules Henningberg being out last week, the Redwoods offense started going around Ryder Garnsey, and I think that was a big changing point. Because coming in to like the week before that, they couldn't fucking the. It was just a guy running into the middle of everything and then trying to pass the ball hitting the ground, and even if you make another pass at that, there was no movement of the ball, and there wasn't any like haste to their play. It was super stagnant. Guys just not even knowing where to go, and the addition of Jules Henningberg in the beginning of the season kind of helped because we didn't really have that like a real superstar in the front half. I mean, we guys have like Garrett Apple, Tim Troutner. Um, I already forget his name. We have a lot of good long pulls, but we didn't have like that because every other team kind of has like their playmaker or goal scorer, and it felt like we had a couple of playmakers, but we didn't have anyone putting the puck in that, putting the ball in that. Um, we also didn't know how to use Perkovic at all. Matt Kavanaugh was doing good, but that addition of Jules Henningberg to that offense was really something fucking amazing. On the other side, you have the Atlas. Triber's been killing it all year, with Will Manny also doing just fucking wonders. Um, they as well, Fabry on their defensive side is just such a huge help, and there when it came down to face-offs this game, face-offs I think probably not as big as goaltending, but uh, Grellin I think is how you say his name. I'm a Redwoods fan. I can't even pronounce half these guys' names. Grellin was just killing it at the face-off X, and that was my major concern going into the playoffs. Was I felt like we weren't winning a lot. I mean, I know that he's good and stuff, but we got kind of lucky with Trevor Baptiste not being in the playoffs because he could take the ball and just score with it. I mean, you have to slide to him. You can't just let him run down the field. Uh, that guy Connor Farrell too on Chrome who got eliminated. He's also, I mean, his percentage wasn't as great. He started off the season hot, but he's also an athlete. I mean, there's a lot of competition at that face-off X, but we killed it yesterday, and I think that is the most important position on a lacrosse field. Moving on, so um, Atlas came off hot. The Redwoods respond, tied at 3-3, and now we go on this back and forth. While lacrosse is really a game of momentum and streaks, it could also be a game kind of like basketball. You can either have a game that your team just went on a 10-0 run, like basketball wise, or like for example, a lacrosse team can go on a 4, 5, 6-0 run, and then the next team could just get hot, and then the next team, and then it would just trade back and forth. Or you can have a bunch of savages running up and down the field or running up and down the court, and someone makes a huge defensive stand. You know what? Come down, Tim Troutner with a huge save. Or you come down and you score, and then all of a sudden we score, and then it's just a total back and forth game. And I love my favorite thing about the PLL this season is that 2 point shot, because now we see these just gunslingers. I mean, there was no point to really shoot a shot like that. Just like fuck it, throw it at net, throw it at net. But now that shot increases, which then brings out like that clump of guys in the middle, frees up a lot of space, and you also have these crazy highlight, crazy fast shots. I mean, we had two back-to-back twos last night with Perkovic and Fabry. Perkovic shooting it at like 106. That man is, and that's a big thing too, is the fact that we never used Perkovic the right way. That's the reason why I became a fan of this team, was because we had Matt Kavanaugh, who playing for Notre Dame. He's a guy who could show up the entire game, or just kind of lay back, like all of a sudden, oh, you're down by like four, it's the fourth quarter, and I'm just like, there's no way they're holding that lead. Not with Matt Kavanaugh, because Matt Kavanaugh will literally score 4 goals on you in the fourth quarter, and just I've seen it too many times. I've just seen it too many times. Perkovic really looks like he's beefed up, because that's a big man. Although they weren't using him the right way. He's like, just give him a ball of steam and let him run down the field, or catch him in transition. That's Our transition game was absolutely just abysmal. Like, there was nothing throughout the regular season. So I was glad to see that we've finally learned how to fucking move the ball around. There's a great group of guys out there. So I got to the game. It's 5-5. 6-5 goes into half. Um, Big loss at the end of the first quarter, like literally the last seconds of the first quarter. Tom Schreiber, which kind of a weird. He had what seems to be an anterior dislocation, because he got hit like in the front of his shoulder though. So weird to see. Maybe his arm got caught and just popped forward. I don't know. They didn't show really that great of graded camera views or anything, but shoulder dislocation, he's out for the game. There's no way you're coming back from that. He probably couldn't even move his arm over his head. So 5-5, 6-5, halftime. Right before half, Perkovic. I don't think that this was like a huge deal, but I mean, this was a big deal, because he comes down and I forgot who he leveled, but he levels this guy, runs him into the fucking ground. And we had just gotten scored on with like 48 seconds left, and all of a sudden you're like, damn it, man, like, what the fuck? And then Perkovic just comes down and flattens that guy. And while nothing came from it, was with the final seconds. That's a good way to go out, with a big fucking hit. Come back, immediately come down the field. Maybe a minute goes by, we score a goal. I'm like, fuck yeah. Then it goes 6-6. And I think Grelin wins a face-off, just fucking runs down the field, throws it in. And then I think a couple plays later, or a couple goals later, he fucking wins a face-off, runs down the field, and then just turns and throws. And then there's a fucking I keep saying Atlas, Archer's guy right there, and just throws him right fucking at him. I'm like, come on, man. Like, that's when I almost thought that we were losing it. But we kept it steady, and then once it hit, we were down 7-8. And then Perkovic hits that too. Which we've hit two-pointers the entire season. I don't even think we have more than 10 attempts. There were at least 10 games. Because I think we went 4-6. Or, I'm sorry, we didn't go 4-6. I think we went 6-4. Besides the fact, there were defensive players with more 2-point shots, more 2-point goals probably, than we did have fucking attempts. So, once we went up by 9-8, then they came back, responded, scored. Um, I think that was what's his name's third goal. I can't remember his name, but he had like 3 goals the entire season, and then he comes down and fucking has a hat trick for the day. So 9-9, and then I want to say we went up and got another 2-pointer. Hold on, I'm gonna check right now. Yeah, so it's 9-9. And then was it Sexton? I think Sexton comes out. Oh yeah, they show this fucking replay of like the huge ground ball and then no one fucking and then them getting it and then us just getting it back because we turned it over like literally right away. Oh, and then I think this is. I'm sorry, I've probably messed up names before. Brent Adams is, I believe, the midfielder on the Redwoods. I forget who their yeah, I forget who Atlas man. I keep saying Atlas. Archer's goalie is. So he hits a big 2-pointer, and then yeah, Grelin comes right back down, turns around, and just gives it away, which fucking sucked. Right to Ratliff, and that was the 2-pointer to answer, which was crazy. Um, we come back down, great ball movement, and then a finish low by who is this Berg. So we haven't seen ball movement. I haven't seen ball movement like that the entire fucking year. So it's nice to see. I mean, it looks very hopeful right now. And then we come right back down, face off win, dump off to the left, bang. I think that was Perkovic who scored. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. You got to use him in transition. You know, you got a couple guys just streaming down. Grelin dump off to the left. All of a sudden, you got 2-3 steps. Fucking throw it at the net. Perkovic's got a hell of a shot, and he's a fucking huge man. So we're up by 2. End of the third. And oh yeah, and then we fucking come out and oh, this is a play that I think fucking sealed the game. So they're coming down. It's the almost end of the third, and fucking Tim Troutner again comes up with a huge fucking save. I think he had as many saves as they did goals. I mean, it was crazy. He was just fucking killing it. And then comes down, and then it's fucking Ryder Garnsey down to I think this is Berg, who gets the goal. Yep, goal. Berg gets the goal, and fucking Grelin got hurt on the play before, and he stuck it out. I mean, his fucking, it was like it didn't look great, but he stayed in. We're able to fucking come out pretty well from that, and then again Troutner another fucking save, and then you got Sexton just fucking brings it right downfield. Fucking comes down underneath across his body, back up, and then fucking just blows by that guy, and then scores right in front of the other guy. Gets decked. Not really decked, but hit pretty hard. Like he got hit, but hit that shit in the back of the net. And then at that point, it was 15, and then yeah, just an unfortunate accident with I don't know who it was. They don't even show it on the replay of one of the Archers guys getting hurt. Horrible to see. Had to be carted off the field. Hopes and prayers with him. And so yeah, and then that was the end of the game pretty much. So MVP of the game has to be Tim Troutner, maybe Grelin, but that was just a huge fucking W by them. Good shit. Next game tonight. I'm fucking hyped. Archers versus, I mean, sorry. Yeah, it'll be Archers versus whoever. Oh, there probably should be 2 games today. There might be one on right now. Against whoever loses that Atlas Chrome. Then you got Whip Snakes versus Chaos. That'll be a fucking hell of a game. And Redwoods go on, plays whoever that does. And then the 2 brackets really start moving. So not bad. I mean, a great first game of the postseason. And Redwoods, yeah. What can I say? Fucking shout out to Tim Troutner. I might buy a Ryder Gardsey fucking jersey, because that man is like, he's him at the X. Since Henningberg left for that one game, they started going through Garnsey, and then all of a sudden you put up fucking 18 goals. Damn, damn, damn. Yeah, so that's about it. Um, Tune in. I think all the games now should be on NBC. Actually, it'll probably just be the playoff games. They might not show like the consolation games, but yeah, fucking tune in. It's a hell of a time. Roll Woods.